Hello and welcome to Potato Quality. Um, as you can see, I am finally dressed in my evening wear. This is like literally like if you were just to fucking show up at my house. I don't know what that was about. Yes, I do. This is, like completely unprepared. This is what I would be. This is what I'd be wearing generally. I don't want to like pan down to it. I'm trying to get that to stop. The stupid reflection. Like, it's so bad wearing glasses and being. There we go. And all I have to do is be like, yes, this is a flattering angle. Just doesn't, like, fit me all in frame. There we go. All right. Cool. We got it. We in it, boys. Welcome to the vlog. Apparently, we're just doing this once a month now on the 30th. I'm actually going to change that. There's actually a little story I've been wanting to tell for a shorty vlog. And I'll get to it, I guess. But today I wanted to tell the story of Shitpost Weekend, which sounds like a fantastic event. But I wanted to talk about the very rare times in which I get the house to myself for a weekend and what it means to me as a person, as a human being. Let me just. So yeah. Um, so yeah, I still live with my parents. It's not something I'm. It's like something that it's like it becomes more and more uneasy to say, as I become, sort of a self-sufficient adult, because I don't know. I can't afford to live on my own. Basically, apartments are fucking ridiculous, and I'm not gonna like pay that much on shit I don't particularly own or whatever. And I don't want like neighbors attached to me. I keep saying I want a trailer before I want an apartment because at least a trailer's standalone, and I can shout and less people will hear me. So um, my mom actually really likes that idea. It's kind of funny. She's like, "Let me find you a trailer." Um, so reason being is that as time goes on, I like find myself wanting my privacy and like a full place all on my own. I think it would be a complete train wreck. Um, Me living on my own, oh Jesus, that would not be great. Um, and I've often said is what I've said is that I couldn't live alone. I couldn't do it. I couldn't stand it whatsoever because I need like other people, sort of, kind of. Not entirely because I am pretty introverted, and I'm really only an extrovert for the right people, which, again, I think qualifies me to be introverted, or to be considered, for your consideration, introverted. Um, so really, uh, you know, there's this struggle. I'm in this place where it's like, man, I could probably look for a place to live. I could probably make it financially if the place were fucking cheap, or something. Um, why don't you just get a roommate? Oh, because I don't know people. Okay, get out of here. Um, but so here's the other thing. I'm home all the time. I never leave my house. When I come home from work, I don't feel like going anywhere, and I work, 5 or 6 days a week usually. Um, well, no, not six. It's usually five. It just depends on what the five are. So ultimately, what happens is that it's, um, you know, I completely lost my train of thought. Shit. This happens. This happens. It's okay. Sorry. You're good. Um, I can't believe I'm wearing a fucking white shirt in a vlog, by the way. I'm like half tempted. 4.5 minutes is almost enough. But no, it's fine. It's cool. Yeah, I'm covered. It looks gaudy as shit, but so does this 720p image quality I have right now. Look, if you're watching this for the visuals, let me tell you, you got the wrong idea. You ain't seeing much. Uh, God, I do not recommend. But yeah, I just, you know, so I never leave my house. I love being in here. In fact, most of the time I'm in my room with the door shut. My parents don't even see me that often. I mean, they see me for dinner and then like when I have to take a shower and all that stuff. They really don't even see me that much. But you know, despite that, and they're pretty good about giving me my privacy and my time, but there's a huge difference between me having me time and me having alone time. And alone time is by far the rarer of the two now that I'm full time. When I was part time, it was great. You know, it was like I was still in college. Um, and I loved college because I went part time. I went a couple days a week. Well, no, I was technically full time, but I went a couple days a week. I had like days off during the week when it was just me here. You know, when my mom was at school, you know, doing her job. You know, and it was like it was nice, and that's one of the reasons why I feel like I was pretty productive during my college years is because, you know, I was able to record let's plays, I was able to write, I was able to do music for as long as I did that. And you know, because I had those times myself, going full time was like the tipping point for me. It got rough. It got rough, and I really say that's like when my overall mood took a turn for the worse is when I went full time because I didn't really want to do it. You know, I was fine being part time because again, going full time didn't, you know, let me make enough money to move on my own, to live my own life. And I really feel like that's a thing. And so I never really wanted to go full time, and here I am. Um, so it's a big thing. Um, you know, because my parents never really go out anywhere. I mean, not never. You know, they go to the grocery store on Sundays, but other than that, usually one of them's here. And it's going to be really rough because my mom is here all summer. So I'm going to go crazy because even when I have my days off during the week, it's like she's going to be here. She's not going to leave. You know, even when she has summer school, it's only for half a day. So it's like, oh, great, I get half a day off. You know, I mean, I might be able to cram something in there, but it's like, so needless to say, this weekend in particular, when my parents decided to take a vacation to the ocean, colloquially known as the ocean, you may know it as the Atlantic Ocean. We call it Ocean City, but I find that vague. There are lots of places called Ocean City. Sorry for this, but yeah. They do it pretty much every year, and it's only for a weekend because that's all they can really stand of each other, probably. It's my theory. So it's they do it pretty much every year. Maybe twice. I hope twice. I hope they do it twice because I always enjoy it. Even in college, I enjoyed it. There are a couple of weird videos floating around out there of things that I did in college. There's just one of me wearing a blazer and a pirate hat making a milkshake. Like it's just the weird shit that I did. But that's because weekends like this are something I always look forward to. I mean, like big time. It doesn't seem like much, but it's like, you know, well, and most people, when they hear, oh, parents are gone, you know, they think, oh, big party. Yeah, man, lots of drugs and alcohol and stuff. And me, it's like, wow, I get to talk at 40 decibels. It's great. Like, this would be my natural voice. And I don't ever, like, get to use it. You know, even when, you know, they don't mind. It's not like they mind when I make noise or when I talk or when I talk to people, heavens knows. You know, but, you know, you know, it's not like they mind, but it's still like you don't want to do that. And I, you know, as the shit tweets prove, I can actually get loud. Like that's something a lot of people don't know about me. um, is that I can get pretty loud. I can do it. I can project. I used to be in a rock band. I used to shout. I used to scream about it. It was great. But I don't think a lot of people realize that I can get loud because even when I'm doing streams, it's like usually pretty low key. You would really have to go back to my old videos on YouTube to figure out how loud I can get. But needless to say, I think the shitpost tweets prove that I could get loud. But that's why it's so near and dear to my heart. Weeks like this, it's just because it's like I can be me. I can go out into the living room and still shout, bah! And the fact that it's like it's a novelty. It's 11 o'clock right now, and I can still do this. I can still have my door open. It's like I can do whatever I want, and it's nice to have that freedom of not having these people around and not having them. They're perfectly nice, they're perfectly fine, and they're perfectly accepting of most of the things that I do. And in fact, I'm sure they wish they kind of heard from me more. They still think I haven't played the guitar I bought a couple weeks ago, so that's a thing. I need to play it more, but I need to tune it now apparently. But yeah. So it's a really special thing. So if you've been following my shitpost tweets, all the little videos that I've made, thank you. That means a lot. That really does mean a lot to me, because that's a lot of fun. That's a lot of things that I do. I chose to kind of do that in lieu of a stream this time because I've found that, on occasion I'll do streams when they're going to be gone for the evening or the day or whatever. But I elected not to do that because I was like, and there's the potential to be disappointed there, and I think a lot of times I am when I set myself up for these streams that I'm like I really want them to do well, and then they don't do anything. So I think this was a better alternative, and I think it's a more unique alternative. And honestly, I very much consider those tweets a success. They're very fun to make. They were very fun to make, and I think some of them I really got creative on, a little bit. Some of them I had to stop and think about. Okay, well, what's in the shot? Getting back into my high school days of video production. I miss Adobe Premiere. I wish I just kind of had it. But yeah, it was a. I always look forward to these. These weekends are so important to me because it's a vacation from everything. When I don't work, it's like freedom, and it feels great. And it really does mean a lot. So, I always appreciate it. Anyone who comes out to streams during them and all that stuff. It's important for me. I don't know how else to say that, and I thought I had a lot more to say about it, but I guess I don't. It's just nice, and it's nice that I can try and plan some things. Again, not that my parents would mind, having friends over, it's not that big a deal. I'm sure they would love for me to have friends over, but it's also very limiting what I can do. When they're just kind of around all the time. Get your mind out of the gutter, please. So yeah, it's just it was a big deal. It was a bigger deal than it probably seemed like it was, I guess. But yeah, it's always a big deal when I can do that sort of thing. When I can let loose, because I don't get a chance to do that. Like most of it is confined to my car and like mornings. And I don't have mornings anymore because my mom is home, and it's just like, ugh. So, ultimately, I had a very good weekend. I mean, it was a great weekend. I love it. Like I said, I love it. And you know what? It really it tests me because it gives me a glimpse into that life as a homeowner. As someone who actually has their own responsibilities to their own living space. And it's always interesting to see how I'll react. Every time it happens, every time they go away, I think, God damn, I wish they could go away for a week just to see what would happen. I think as the weekends go, I'm pretty successful. I keep up with the dishes. I tried to keep up with my chores, although the plants. So look, my dad's got a green thumb. And I do not. And he's like, "Here, water these plants." And I was so bad. I'm bad at watering. I ended up watering them in the dark just now. Because my friend came over, and I was gonna water them like in the evening after the sun started to go down. just because it's like that's when you're supposed to do it. And I figured that's when they would need water. But by the time I got to them, they were all like not looking too happy. So hopefully they'll be cool until tomorrow morning, and I can hit them again with the water and then be off to work. God, but I tell you what, man, I wish I did not have to work tomorrow. I hate that it's 11. It don't feel like 11 o'clock right now. It feels like 9 o'clock. Ugh. It's sickening. I actually had a friend stop by, and it made my day. It made my day. It made my week, probably. I mean, it really made the weekend. It felt like kind of like a finale. Like, all right, here's all this stuff, and then it's me. It was me alone descending into madness, and then I got to bring a friend for the last couple of hours. And as of this, there's still a bunch of shit tweets on my phone that I haven't even tweeted out yet, and they'll probably keep coming on through Monday because I ain't got anything else. And it's gonna take me a while to get through them. So yeah, I don't know. I so look forward to a weekend like this. I love weekends like this because it just like I get to be out on my own. I get to fend for myself. I get to try and take care of things. I get to take care of my cats, which I enjoy. I enjoy the time I get to spend with my cats alone, which is a weird thing because I can always bother them. But it's kind of nice when they like, they look at you and they're like, "Huh, you're my provider now. Feed me." And it's like, "All right. Yeah, I got the power to do that if you want." Um, so yeah, it's always a big deal for me when my parents go away because it happens so infrequently. It's like it's not like my parents are like other parents where they just fucking disappear for a week because they can. Mine never do that. I can't tell you the last time they took a week's vacation in a row. It's crazy. You never can. Um, but yeah. Oh, right. I wanted to talk about my friend visiting me because for the longest time today, I spent a lot of today wondering whether or not she was actually going to come. Um, and it was kind of interesting because I thought about it and it's like, if I were in her position, I probably wouldn't come either. I probably wouldn't even visit. Um, you know, so I thought about it and it's like, yeah, crap. I wouldn't have. It was getting later and later, and I was like, all right, well, I got to go to plan B with what I was going to do today, which isn't a bad thing, but it was hard to convince myself that. It's like, you could have gold, but you got to settle for silver. You know what I mean? You kind of always want that gold. Because again, somebody coming to visit, it's like they have to deal with this added baggage of having my parents around and having to restrain themselves and be, and not necessarily be them and me not being me because I know that I'm going to get questioned afterwards. So, it's a big old thing that kind of makes it, you know. But here's the thing, it's like I really didn't expect her to come. I was literally like reaching for my keyboard to message my sister to say, "Hey, let's go out to dinner." In which case my friend would have been sunk because she'd have came home and she'd have came here and there would have been nobody here. So yeah, I have this theory about something that happened, and this is related to the vlog I did last month, and maybe this will be the last time I talk about this for a while. So what happened is she ended up showing up, and it was uplifting. It was very uplifting. It was something that I really needed, because I mean, first of all, I really wanted to see her, and second of all, I felt as though it would be a good thing. It would be a good opportunity, and this was really like a good opportunity for her to do that because I don't get many times like this, unfortunately. I'll try not to go into the details, but needless to say, I didn't think she would come. Just knowing her and knowing all the circumstances and all that sort of thing. And again, if it were me, I don't know if I'd have done it. So I was very impressed. Oh, it's 11:11. Make a wish. I wish I didn't have to work tomorrow. I don't think I should have said that out loud, but that would be super nice. That's not going to come true either. So, um, but yeah, I really didn't think she was. And when she went to leave, it was about 9 something. Um, we were kind of in the middle of the street hugging, and I looked up into the sky, and I was like, "Ooh, you know what? I wonder if there's some stars out." And there were some stars out, and I knew I was supposed to see them. And it's like thinking about it, as simple as it is, I wouldn't have gone outside at night to see the stars. And the significance of that being is that one of the bits of music that I associate with Lauren is the Red Album by Weezer. If you know it, obviously you know I'm Talking the Angel and the One is a hugely emotional song for me. But there's also a bonus track on the deluxe edition called The Spider. Um, and I think, what's the first line? We'll never know just who we are because when we die, we become a star. And 10 years ago, I was desperate. I needed something to cling on to, and I thought about that. So, for a lot of days after she died, I would go outside and look up at the stars and say, "All right, well, that's you now. That's Lauren." And I think my belief, my headcanon is that um, I guess Lauren knew I needed somebody, and uh, she wanted me to acknowledge that it was her that pushed my friend in the right direction. And I like to believe things like that. I mean, it's far fetched when I read it, um, but then it kind of happens to you, and you're like, "There's something." I definitely believe that the world and our lives are sort of a plotted story. They're meant to things. Things happen for a reason. You know what I mean? Whether you believe in religion or not, I believe everything does happen for a reason. They're not always clear to us. Certainly, um, um, there are a lot of things I could question about in my life. Why they happen, and I do. But there are parts of me that do believe, yeah, yeah, it's all meant to happen this way. Whatever's happened, like it's meant to be this way for a reason. It's like maybe I'm not where I'm at in life because I have something left to do. There's something I still got to do. So there's a point I still got to reach. But no, I really believe that you know things like that stay with us. Maybe people fade into the life stream, so to speak, into the ether of the planet, but they still influence the events. Um, I think that's kind of my view on it. Maybe they don't go to heaven. Maybe they're not this guardian angel or whatever that specifically watches over you. But I think that, maybe their will remains, and maybe that's what helps us when we need it. You know, Maybe it really is the planet trying to correct itself. Karma or what have you. But you know, I think that pretty much either way, um, me having a weekend to myself was going to be a pretty good experience. It was going to be something I needed. It was going to be a break I needed. It felt really good. When nobody's here, it actually felt like a longer stretch of time than I'm used to. I mean, I went to bed Saturday and I was like, fuck, I saw a whole day of this. And while this today seemed to fly by, um, it was nice to have that sort of time dilation sort itself out. Um, so you know, it was a good time. Turned great by a little twist of fate. So, um, I don't know. Do you have anything like that? Do you have any moments in your house that are rare and that you like sort of wish happened more often? Because I would love this. And I want my parents to go out and enjoy themselves because goddamn, they don't do it enough. They need to take a good vacation sometime, not just to the same place over and over again. Um, But yeah, do you have anything like that? Is there anything you look forward to? Any certain, times that you always look on fondly, even if it's kind of like weird? I don't know. That's my question for you. Leave a comment or DM me on Discord with the answer, or tweet at me. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit how we do it. I don't know. What is that? This is me being loud because I can. It's 11 o'clock and I can. So, I don't know. I just wanted to talk about these very special times in my lives when I can see the night sky and also be alone on my property. I really like it. I don't know. A weird topic to talk about for 25 minutes, but you know, I wanted to talk about it. I wanted to do a vlog. I wanted to talk about it because it's a thing. I don't know. Hey, look, I still can't end vlogs, man. I'm just trying to make this one not 40 minutes, so. I hope y'all are doing well. And stuff. Have a good week. Have a good 4th of July, too, I guess. I don't know, man. Maybe next time I'll wear an actual shirt. Hey!